natural tortoise keepers, giving you a little life update because we don't have a whole lot going on here these days because all of our tortoises, except for this beautiful Sheila Phyllis, are in brumation. But Sheila's pretty new to me, so I don't brumate her because I wouldn't recommend anyone to brumate a new tortoise. Phyllis here had a little bit of shell damage from being with the males a little too much or too long, or the two males were rather vigorous, and as you can see, they're scuffed up. 1, 2, a little bit there, skewed. So what I've done is gave this a little bit of an athlete's foot treating, and I can't believe how well it's healed. But I put on a little bit of ointment like a couple weeks ago, and now, so I'll probably give it a Q-tipping because it was never in between the scutes, so I don't think it's of any benefit to have excess oil in there. I wouldn't recommend anyone to oil a tortoise's shell ever. But she has an extra scute and obviously a little bit of pyramiding. But we love her, and she's beautiful, and she'll join the group, especially once this is all healed. So we'll probably keep her a little bit dry here until the end of brumation. And then when the other tortoises go outside, we'll see about Phyllis going outside with them or what our actual plan is. But I've been keeping it a little bit drier than what I would recommend to most in here. Not that Hermans need high moisture, they need overall humidity and ranges of it, so that's another conversation for another day. But I'm pretty excited for the tortoises too to come out of brumation because this is the best group to date, I think, and it's going to be nothing but the best with the new feed and a few other ideas that I have, and having them outside for just an excessive amount of time. Maybe try this other light that I have. Phyllis is pretty chilling because we're overwintering, and they just have a natural lethargy to them at this time of year because they would have wanted to wind down. And so a few things you can check is your temperature. Make sure you have it at a proper basking. Like I usually recommend 31°C, but you could go up to 33 and try and get an activity boost to stimulate it. I think it's their pineal gland that gets stimulated by white light. So having good quality UVB light and heat and just good clean water, and try and find a variety of food. That's why I always recommend getting into foraging and having dried feed on hand, because then it's a variety of a million things that you've foraged all summer. What else to stimulate them? Some days I pick her up and put her right underneath the light. It's like, here, let's go warm up a bit. I usually don't move a tortoise that much. I don't overly handle them if I don't have to. I handle them most in these videos, to be honest with you. Let's see if she'll show us her pretty face, because I did work on her beak. There, Phyllis. See how that oil, you can see that oil residue at the top but not at the bottom, and I'd prefer it to be like the bottom ideally. But it has helped her shell quite a bit because it was looking like it was going to have a little rot to it, and I am not about that life. But she is probably the lightest horse I have. I do love her extra Phyllis. She's a fresh one. And yeah, speaking of my food that I mentioned, I've got an extra little sample here. And that's my own dried pellets I made. It's a little bit dusty than what the commercial is, but this is my homemade. So this is the start of something, you never know. They love it. Phyllis and the males that I had did enjoy it. And so that's a recipe for success. I didn't try it on the babies yet, but we will. What else could I really say about the tortoise life these days? Because it's very quiet and it sucks. Like there's nothing in the incubator. There's nothing to forage or harvest for because we're under snow. There's not a whole lot that I can really get into except for Phyllis here because they are all brumating. So I'm curious what my content's going to look like in the winter, because it's easy to make content in the summertime, but It's tougher when you only have one tortoise. But that's kind of overwintering tortoises, and thanks for tuning in. Your pal, Natural Tortoise Keepers.